Hi, welcome to all of you. A big namaste and welcome to our series called the Immunity 101 series. Well, we are living in 2021, so that's exactly why we are talking about immunity. Until 2020, I was only asked questions about weight loss. It's almost like immunity just didn't exist in people's minds. And since then, we are just hearing a lot of noise about immunity. Now, everything is about immunity, and people are doing things to build immunity. But do we really need to build immunity, or do we already have immunity? So, this is going to be a class on the very basics of immunity that you need to know and understand so that you do not succumb to random things that you're reading over internet, those the stuff that's landing on your timeline, or the forwards that you're reading on WhatsApp. So this is a very basic class. This will help you stay on course with good health and with a robust immune function. So number one, do you need to build immunity or do you already have immunity? Well, we could be talking about immunity only from March 2020, but the fact is that immunity has always existed. You and I are already immune to many things. So the first thing is that we are all born with immunity. Sorry to all the people who are trying to sell us products. We all already have what is called as the innate immunity. Innate immunity is the body's ability to fight everything that is harmful to it. It fights all kinds of pathogens, bacteria, viruses, and other toxic substances that could damage or harm the body or lead to death or deformity. Okay, it fights it by itself. Just the fact that you're alive till now, it means that your innate immunity is working. Can you compromise on it? Yes, but we still have innate immunity. Now, innate immunity is largely divided, or you can say that you have three different types of innate immunities. One is of course called as the physical barriers that we all have. So our skin is one of the physical barriers which provides us with immunity. The other one is the chemical barriers, the enzymes that we produce, the stomach acids that we produce, that also provides us with a whole lot of immunity. And the third thing is more at a cellular level. We produce certain kind of cells which help us with our immune function. Our innate immunity is a big system. It involves physical barriers like, every time you cough, let's say something goes inside your windpipe, you start coughing, or your skin comes in contact with something, or right now with COVID, like this whole emphasis on wash your hands often. All of these are basically methods of ensuring that your physical, chemical, and cellular responses of your innate immunity stay strong. This is something that each one of us is born with, and believe it or not, you really don't need any products to boost it. Okay, so this is something that we need to know, that we all have what is called as the innate immunity. Then we have something called as the acquired immunity. So innate immunity is non-specific. It is not just against one kind of disease, it's against everything that's bad for us. And the minute you beat something that's bad for you, it will immediately come to your rescue. So its response is almost instantaneous. Maybe something went into your eye and your eye will start watering, you're coughing, your skin is giving you a response, or building that barrier between pathogens and the rest of you. So this is almost, it fights everything and it's instantaneous. Acquired, on the other hand, is very specific. Okay, so you develop specific immunity to certain diseases if those pathogens manage to come through your innate immunity and attack your body, so to say. That's when your acquired immunity comes in to your rescue. So acquired immunity is specific. Acquired immunity is it's not instantaneous. It takes a little bit of time. So it takes a little bit of time for your body to build this acquired immunity. And well, your body remembers this, so it has memory. This one kind of almost works with you for the rest of your life. If you think of before COVID, if you think of let's say chicken pox, if you did get chicken pox, then you know that you're not going to get chicken pox later. What you're talking about is acquired immunity, because then the next time you are exposed to something like that, your body knows what to do. It develops that memory to fight this pathogen. What's happening with COVID is also the exact same thing, that if you get it once, then you have those antibodies, which basically means that you're developing specific or acquired immunity. That's also the hope with vaccines, that we will develop acquired immunity to this specific pathogen. So that's your basics on immunity, that there are two types of immunity, innate and acquired, and all that you really need, and these are constantly working. So these haven't gone to sleep, or they are not in lockdown. They are constantly working, and all that you need to allow them to work at their optimum is some discipline and common sense. Discipline and common sense, ladies and gentlemen, cannot be packaged into a bottle and sold you as a pill, which is why they remain maybe the most underutilized interventions when it comes to building and keeping a good immune response. Now, what do I mean by discipline? Discipline as in just the basic discipline that we now all know is talking specifically about COVID. It has become the COVID protocol, whether it is washing your hands every time when you return home, washing your hands every time before you eat something, wearing your mask, avoiding keeping social distance, avoiding large crowd. All of that goes into keeping up with the basic discipline that you must adhere to keep your immune function at its best. You know this, but worth saying this one more time. The other kind of discipline that I'm talking about is just the stuff that your grandmother told you. Wash your hands before you eat. Have a bath every day. Just those things. Wash your feet when you enter your home. So if we just kept up with those basic disciplines, then we would be able to get our immune function to respond like the way we want it to respond. Our lifestyle, what we eat, how we sleep, whether we exercise, where we stay, what are we thinking, all of this keeps influencing our immune function. And I'm now going to talk specifically about what are the foods or what can you do in terms of food to ensure that your immune function is functioning like the way it should. Number one, stop dieting. If you're on any kind of a diet which is restrictive, any kind of a diet which looks at food from the point of view of carbohydrate, protein, fat, if it is telling you to deprive, of any of these food groups, whether it is fat or whether it is carbohydrate, or whether it is simply depriving you of timing, कि अभी 14 घंटे में कुछ नहीं खाऊंगी, 20 घंटे में कुछ नहीं खाऊंगी. If you're doing those kind of things, anything that is restricting you is something which you need to stop doing, because you must know that restrictive diets come in the way of your body's functioning, and you don't want that to happen. They increase dependence on chai, coffee and cigarettes. They come in the way of your sleep, and they get you to eat more packaged and processed foods. So all kinds of diets put you onto this trip of late night cravings, of eating more chocolate, more chips, more colas, harmful for your innate immune response, and therefore also for your acquired immunity. So what is it that you should then eat with your food? I told you, Immunity 101 is really about going back to basics, and it's really simply about staying more disciplined and commonsensical with our diet. So the kind of food that you should be eating is very simply, and for all those of you who follow me, do know this: you eat local food, you eat the food which is in season, you eat the food which is traditional. Simple enough, right? But we are now really complicating the eat local, seasonal, traditional stuff. We are in fact even using something as simple as eat local, seasonal, traditional to monetize the vulnerabilities and the fears that people are feeling during COVID times. So just to quickly explain to you, local is anything that's growing around you, okay? Seasonal मतलब जो अभी season में है वो, stuff which is in season. Traditional is the stuff that you're cooking in your own kitchens. What is local really for us? So for us, everything. So millets are local for us, whole grains are local for us, legumes and pulses are local for us. What is in season? Season is largely, fresh fruits and vegetables. We even have a system where we know that during the summer, what kind of millets should we be eating, what kind of legumes should we be eating. And traditional is really cooking our food, in the time-tested methods. So, just explaining this to you a little bit, the millets which are in season right now are ragi and jowar, because we are in summer. The grains that you can eat right now are things like rice, okay, dahi and rice, legumes, everything that we spoke about earlier, in the earlier lives. Whether it is the lobia, the moong, the matki, the smaller legumes, those are the ones which are consumed during summer. Fresh fruits that are in season right now. We will even have a specific session dedicated to summer foods and immunity. You can join us tomorrow. But the mango, the jamun, the tadgora, the jam, the karwand, the ranjana, the local fruits that you find in your area, the vegetables that are in season right now, all of these watery creeper के ऊपर वाले vegetables, and cooking in time tested methods. Cooking in time tested methods simply means cooking your food like the way you were meant to eat it. So if you're eating a millet, let's say if you're eating ragi, then it's really about making a ragi porridge or a ragi dosa or a ragi roti, and not really converting it into a ragi biscuit, a ragi chip, a ragi pizza, okay? Same thing with with even our spices like the haldi, the jeera, the ajwain, using it in our cooking and not really using it in untime tested practices, which is turning haldi into a capsule, turning things into shots in the morning and stuff. So keeping it very, very basic and commonsensical, and trust me, staying commonsensical with diets has always been a hard sell. It has always been tough, but right now it's tougher than ever, because everyone's looking for a short and a quick fix, because we are forgetting that actually immunity is something that is lifelong. We are born with an immune function. We don't need a quick fix. We just need to keep up with our basics, common sense and discipline, and that will more than safeguard us. Okay, so if you're talking about food broadly, what is it that you should do? You can start your day, because something which also ensures that your immune function works like the way it should work is keeping a good diverse gut bacteria. And for that, you will need to eat foods in the combinations that you're meant to eat them. So starting your day with some soaked raisins or even almonds is going to be useful. Ensuring that you don't skip breakfast is extremely important, so that you are also in a good state of hormonal balance. You're not really getting stressed or agitated, needing to get through half of your morning on caffeine and smoking, and then not knowing what to do to keep up with a good immune function. So a good breakfast, you could do ragi porridge, you could do poha, you can do upma, you can do thali peeth, you can do paratha. You can do whatever that you have always been doing. Do a breakfast that has a name in your local language, that your grandmother would approve of, that you're happy to watch your grandchildren eating. That's what your breakfast should be all about. Make sure that you're eating your lunch on time. Don't go beyond 1 p.m. because the minute you skip it beyond 1 p.m., you're most likely to overeat post dinner, and then that overeating post dinner is again the ice creams and the chocolates and the chips and stuff, which is going to then impair your immune response. So eat your lunch by 1 p.m. Between your breakfast and lunch, now that it is summer, you could either have a fresh fruit or you can have one of the homemade sharbats. So you could do a nimbu sharbat, you can do a kokum sharbat, you can do an avla sharbat. Make sure that you're well hydrated in this season. Between lunch and dinner, you can do another meal. So you can maybe do a handful of peanuts, you can do chana and gur, you can do a mango, you could do a mango milkshake. It depends on what you would like to eat. And then for dinner, try and keep it simple, and I prefer to keep it to a khichdi because it's easy to cook. We are all working from and at home. It's the easiest meal. It's a good combination of rice and dal. It provides you with amino acids. You put a teaspoon of ghee on it. It is soothing, it's easy to digest, it's easy to, the next day you're not spending too much time in the bathroom, your digestion, excretion, everything is working at its best. And a very basic commonsensical diet is what you need right now. If you eat dinner early and get hungry by the time you're going to bed, you can have a glass of milk. Right now that it is summer season, you can even do like a gulkand milkshake. If it's getting too hot and you're getting too much fatigue or you're getting low on energy, you can just do 1 teaspoon of gulkand in the milk, and you will feel that your sleep quality has also improved. So keep it basic and commonsensical with your diet. Lunch ke liye another good option is also dahi rice. You must remember that the best way to keep our gut bacteria in a good shape is to keep eating combinations of pre and probiotic. And the way to eat pre and probiotic together is to just stick it out with the time tested formulas of eating. Dahi and rice. Rice is prebiotic, dahi is probiotic. Eating, let's say, your paratha with makhan or your poha with nariyal. We just have endless time tested ways of ensuring that our bacteria stays in a good shape. We should use them to our advantage. Alright, so keep it basic with your diet, and don't be under misconceptions like dahi खाऊंगी तो गला बैठ जाएगा या सर्दी हो जाएगी. That will not happen. Have home set curd. If you're having home set curd, you're setting the curd tonight, eating it tomorrow, you're not going to develop any cold or cough because of it. So dahi which has not gotten khatta is fine for you. Okay. Now while we are on this, the question then is, when we are talking about food, What about supplements? Where do supplements come? Well, supplements are really the least important thing when it comes to food. Unfortunately, we are focusing too much on supplements and we are forgetting that in the absence of a well-rounded diet, a supplement is not going to help you. A lot of people feel कि अरे मैं कुछ नहीं कर रही हूँ diet में, I'm not eating normal food, I'm not eating on time, so let me at least take a supplement, it is going to help me. If you are one of those people, then just taking that supplement is not going to help you. In fact, they're even saying that overdoing some of the supplements could lead to more complications. So stay safe and do your basics with your diet, and know that when you're not doing the basics, then taking something to pop your immunity is not going to work, no matter how much the industry is trying to sell you that. Because not just are we now having an overload of immunity boosting supplements, whether it is zinc or whether it is C, we are also having things like immunity boosting hand wash, immunity boosting floor wash, immunity boosting lipstick, face cream, everything. The mind space that hashtag weight loss had once is now with hashtag immunity boosting. But again, whether it's weight loss or whether it's immunity, keep it local, keep it seasonal, keep it traditional, and your body will have access to all the nutrients, whether it's amino acids, whether it is vitamin C, whether it is zinc, whether it is D, whether it is E, whether it is B12, all of it, So isoflavone, सब कुछ मिल जाएगा. Keep it local, seasonal, traditional. Then we move on to exercise. A lot of people have this thing that, okay, now it's also locked down and I'm gaining weight, so maybe I should just do a lot of exercise, or should I not do any kind of exercise at all? What is it that I should be doing with exercise? So the first thing that we must know with exercise is that it's a double-edged sword. Okay? Exercise does help us with our immune function. But immediately after exercise, our immunity is a little low. I'm going to say this again. Immediately after exercise, your immunity is a little low. If you have never exercised, then make sure that when you do start exercising, because exercising in the long run will help you with a good immune response, and it will help you with fat loss, and it will help you with body tone and hormones and better sleep, all of that. But this isn't the time to over exercise. This isn't the time to go on the highest level of intensity in terms of your exercise. This is the time to ensure that you are administering exercise just in the right dose, just as much as your real life allows you to recover from. If the exercise that you've done today is leaving you tired, sore and fatigued 4 days down the line, 5 days down the line, then you're overdoing it. So overdoing exercise will damage your immune response, and underdoing exercise or not exercising at all will also ensure that you will have a less than optimum immune response. So how do you get it just right? By ensuring that you're committing at least 30 to 60 minutes per day, to exercise. Now, how do you commit these 30 to 60 minutes? Well, for the first things first, you must ensure that you're doing a combination of activity and exercise. What is the meaning of a combination of activity and exercise? That you are constantly doing things to break down your sitting. If you're sitting all the time, half an hour ho gaya, Zoom call pe lage hue ho, yeah, whatever else that you're doing, that is too much. So for every 30 minutes of sitting, stand at least for 3 minutes. Do things which keep you more mobile. Walk around the house. Go out if you can in a safe outdoor place. But break that sitting. Don't be on your phone. Check how much time you're spending on the phone, because now all our phones are telling us what is our daily average. Check what our daily average is. check what your weekly average is. Check if it's gone up as compared to the last week, because the amount of time that you spend on your gadget is a measure of how much time you're sitting. The minute you are spending more time on your gadget, you are spending more time sitting, and sitting is harmful to your health. It is as harmful as smoking and alcohol. So smoking and alcohol also you must remove from your diet, I mean from your life, so that your immune function is functioning like the way it should. But exercise is a double-edged sword. You need to exercise, but don't be like मैं आज कुत्ते जैसा exercise करने वाली हूँ. That is not okay, and nor is this okay that मैं घोड़े बेच के सोने वाली हूँ. So no ghoda, no kutta, human being, and train and exercise like a human being. So you can do 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the evening. You can do 10 minutes of exercise 6 times a day, whatever that you feel like doing. But do a minimum of 30, do a maximum of 60. Don't overdo, don't underdo. Alright, so that's what you should do with exercise. With exercise, you should also remember that a lot of us are getting sleepless. And sleep also leads to a good immune response. But a lot of us are getting sleepless because we are just not doing anything. Exercise aids sleep, and therefore also aids how quickly we will fight the viruses and the pathogens that attack our body. So exercise is important because it allows you to sleep well. Exercise also, so exercise influences your sleep. Exercise also influences how much you eat. So if you have been going through this lockdown with massive junk cravings, or you see an ad and you want that pizza, you see an ad and you want that chocolate milkshake, then what is really missing from your life is not willpower, but exercise. Because what exercise does is that it helps you regulate your appetite. Once you start exercising regularly, it almost becomes impossible to overeat. So if you want to know how to stop eating at the right time, make that 30 to 60 minutes of time every day for your exercise, and your body will then automatically work at regulating your appetite. The third way in which exercise works is that it gives or helps you produce what is called as butyrate producing bacteria. So it actually helps you with production of good bacteria, and then this good bacteria will allow you to assimilate micronutrients like vitamin D and C and iron and folic acid better, and ensure that you are fighting, or your immune response is fighting at its optimum. Alright, so exercise for more than one reason, but make sure that you're not overdoing or underdoing exercise. Sleep, probably the most undervalued aspect of a good immune function is sleep. When you're sick, you don't get to sleep, and when you don't sleep, you fall sick. So right now what you must do is ensure that you have a regulated bedtime. Okay, fix your time कि मैं हर रोज इसी समय पे सोऊंगी और इसी समय पे उठूंगी. If you're right now going through a time in your life where you're sleeping too late, then for 3 to 4 days fix a time where you are waking up at a certain time. And don't be very, very unrealistic. So if you're right now waking up at 10:30 or 11 o'clock, don't say I'm going to wake up from 5 o'clock tomorrow, because then tomorrow you'll just put the alarm on snooze. Day after you will decide that you're not worthy of waking up at 5 a.m. and the day after that you will continue sleeping until 11:30, and eventually a year later you will even wake up at 1 o'clock. Now how do you change that? You change that by being realistic with your wake up time. So if you're waking up at about 10:30, 11, start waking up at about 9ish. Then over a period of time start waking up at about 8ish. And once you're waking up at about 7:38, that's okay. You can continue waking up by that time. Ideal would be somewhere between 5:30 to 7, but if you can't hit that spot, even between 7 and 8 is fine, but keep that consistent. So regulate your sleep, and don't go to bed with a gadget. Very important, so don't set an alarm on your phone, buy yourself an alarm clock. Don't wake up in the middle of the night and check your phone. It's not worth it. And yeah, know that if you don't sleep well, your immune function will not work. So your innate immune response will actually begin to get weaker, and if your innate immune response begins to get weaker, then your acquired or your adaptive immune response gets gets more challenging. It gets more challenging for your body to make those specific antibodies. So you have to keep the innate response, immunity response in a good place. So you need food, you need exercise, and you also need proper sleep. So remember, regulated bedtime and staying gadget free. And that one tip that I've shared with everyone, which really helps, applying ghee to the soles of your feet just before you go to bed. That is something that really helps. And that milk in the night, if you've now having a quality of sleep where you're waking up every now and then in the night to do susu, to drink water, just have a glass of milk before you hit the bed, and you'll be able to sleep through the night. And remember to put some ghee on the soles of your feet and you should be fine. Okay, so yeah, with food, before I go on to stress, everyone's like, okay, local, seasonal, traditional is fine, but once in a while I want to eat the pizza, and once in a while I want to eat the chocolate, and once in a while I want to eat the ice cream. Can I eat? The answer is yes. Of course you can eat, but you just regulate that and you say, okay, I'm going to eat it once a week, and max I will eat it twice a week, and no more than that. So if you're getting food from outside 1 to 2 times a week is fine. Plan for it in advance, and it shouldn't come out of a craving or desperation that आज मैं बहुत बोर हो रही हूँ तो मैं पिज्जा मंगवाती हूँ. No, tonight's a Saturday, or I have someone coming over, or I have decided to watch whatever, like I want to unwind and I want to eat this my favorite pasta, or I want to eat this favorite chocolate. Get it, but don't overdo it. 1 to 2 times a week will not damage your immune response. 1 to 2 times a day, every other day, yes, then it will come in your way. And lastly, stress. Oh boy, the one thing that we've been having too much of these days, almost everyone that I'm working with will say, oh God, I'm exhausted and I'm stressed. Don't stress, because टेंशन लेके आज तक किसी ने कुछ भी नहीं उखाड़ा है, आप और मैं भी नहीं उखाड़ पाएंगे. So de-stress at all points of times. Remember that the more stressed you get, the more you produce this hormone called cortisol, and the more you produce cortisol, the lesser is your immune response. So if you really want your immune function to work like the way it should, then you must work at de-stressing, which means that don't allow yourself to get stressed फालतू में. फालतू में कोई ये बोला, कोई वो बोला. I saw my 2015 picture, I was so thin, now I'm so fat, oh God, I'm so stressed. Someone said something to me, oh God, I'm so stressed. Oh, my internet is not coming on, I'm so stressed. So at least faltu stresses we should not take, And the other thing is this whole thing of, women especially tend to say this to me, I'm very sensitive. कोई कुछ कह देता है तो मुझे बहुत बुरा लगता है. Again, faltu stress. This isn't the time to be sensitive. This is the time to be sensible. Be sensible about what's going to affect you. Today is Bauddha Jayanti, and one of the things that Buddha said is that if someone gives you something and you don't take it, then it's not yours. अगर तुमको कोई गाली दे रहा है तो तुम वो लो ही मत, तो then it is not yours. तुमको कोई negativity दे रहा है, तुम लो ही मत, तो it is not yours. So remember the teachings of Buddha, at least on this day, and don't take faltu stress. Also, don't take stress about COVID, okay? Most of us will be able to, even if we get COVID, we will be able to sit at home, isolate and recover by eating properly and by sleeping on time. For those who would require more medical intervention, make sure that even right now you're educating yourself from the right kinds of resources. Because if you that even immunity and COVID has just way too many experts, way more than weight loss, or almost as much as weight loss. So look for your information from credible sources. I will share a few credible sources later in the caption of this video, but Capstone Clinic on Instagram for all those sources. So look for information from people who are working in this field, and then you will actually begin to de-stress, because you will realize that the information that they're sending out is more fact-based and more not fear-based. If the information that you're reading is more fear-based, then you are more likely to take wrong decisions. But if it's more fact-based, then you know what you should do and what you shouldn't do. So make sure that you're looking at more credible sources for information, not just random. अरे इसने तो ये बोला, अरे उसने तो वो बोला, और कोई तो वो बोला, तो फालतू का stress हो जाता है. So please delete all the फालतू stresses. Now, along with all of these things, what we should also do is know that just like virus, one little organism, but look at its mutations. So the fact is that it has adapted. The minute it realized that the human body is fighting it with its immune responses, it started changing its colors, so to say, to ensure that the human body needs to fight it even stronger and with more and get better equipped to fight it. It's making it more difficult for us to fight the disease. So just like how the virus adapted, we should also adapt. And later, and even I think even from today, when we are thinking about our day-to-day life, when we are thinking about small decisions and when we are thinking about big decisions, we must think of health as a primary goal. Health is not something that we should go about seeking when we have lost it, or when there is a pandemic, or when there is fear. It is something that we must aspire for, work towards, and maybe make a few shifts in the way we are living, in the way we are thinking, in the way we are eating, in the way we are exercising, in the way we are buying, in the way we are sleeping, in the way we are maintaining relationships, so that health remains a primary goal and outcome of our lives. It needs to become a default and not something that we look at building just because there is a threat of a pandemic. So make health the primary goal of your life. Make decisions which will allow you to stay healthy, whether it is eating better food, whether it is striking a better work and life balance, whether it is whether it is just forgiving people who have caused you stress in your past or whatever. Make better informed decisions which allow you to get healthy, versus just living your life in a way where slowly you're losing your health and fitness. So begin to live your life in a way where over a period of time, just like how you've built your wealth, you've also been able to build a good chunk of health. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is really the very, very basics of immunity, and therefore we are calling it Immunity 101. I hope you learned something new today, and I also hope that you also kind of reconfirmed everything that you already knew, and that it allows you to focus on your primary health goals in a more focused and dedicated manner. So thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Until then, focus on your health, and even after that, make health, like I said, a primary goal of your life. Bye bye.